I went through what you would call a rebirthing. So I birthed my higher self into my vessel, where I actually felt like I was physically giving birth. There's an element of spiritual counselling. So if a person's going through something or struggling with something, I have the ability to tune in and kind of receive information. I also have the ability to help them to see different paths and different directions that they could go in or flow in. I went through something significant. My whole life turned upside down. For a 6-year period, I was in a very dark place. So I was in a relationship, and my partner at the time left me for my best friend.
I would look at you and I'd go, she's smashing it. I'm just teaching yoga for 25 quid and actually it works out about less than minimum. Hello guys, welcome to the Full Power Podcast, the podcast that is propelling you towards the full power version of yourself. Today I am joined by one of my oldest friends, Katherine Henshaw, psychic medium. We've been on this journey together since we were about 12, so 30 years. We've both watched each other grow, develop, and it's amazing to see what she's grown into over the last 10 years and all the adversity that she's been through. So it's amazing to have her on the show. It's amazing for her to be our second guest, so let's get into it. Katherine Henshaw, psychic medium.
Hi.
Welcome to the Full Power Podcast. Full power, full power, full power.
Happy to be here.
How you doing?
I'm all right.
Yes?
Okay, yeah.
How does that sound, Katherine Henshaw, psychic medium?
Katherine Henshaw, psychic medium and light language channel.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, there's a new bit. New section.
Okay, so let's stick to the first bit for now.
Okay.
Katherine Henshaw, psychic medium. What's a psychic medium?
So a psychic medium is a person that connects with people in the spiritual realm, have the
Yes.
ability to connect with people in heaven and to channel them. So in a
Yeah.
reading, I have the ability to connect with loved ones.
So what's a reading? Like someone will come to you?
So if somebody wants to come and have a reading from me, I connect with them, I connect with their voice, I connect with their energy. So I can do that on the phone, or I can do that face to face. And I do a past, present and future reading. I also talk about all the people that they're connected to on the earth plane, all the different situations they might be going through or might have been through. And then my main ability is to talk to people in the spiritual world.
And so what's the benefits that has on, say, a person that's coming to you? So you don't just sit there and chat with people in the spiritual world. You tune into the people that they're connected with energetically.
So there's an element of spiritual counselling. So if
Yeah.
a person's going through something or struggling with something, I have the ability to tune in and kind of receive information to help guide and support them through
Yeah.
that situation. I also have the ability to help them to see different paths and different directions that they could go in or flow in, depending upon whether it's relationships or family or kind of work orientated or just whatever, if someone's selling a house, they give me all the different visions of possible pathways.
Yeah.
So it's supportive. It's very nurturing to be able to sit and connect with a person on that level in that way, to support them with their next steps in their life, and to also to be able to channel a person that they've lost is just, it's profound. And a lot of people come back to me again and again and again because it's like sitting with the dad or the mum or the auntie or the sister or the cousin or whoever it is that's gone, and actually having that one-to-one energy and connection exchange. So it's beautiful.
So what is it? Is it kind of like an indulgent thing, or are they connecting with those people to get advice?
Connecting with those people because to be able to come, some people come every 6 months.
Yeah.
And to be able to come and reconnect with their past mum, for example, is something that is just very heartfelt and it's just needed for them. It fills their heart with joy, and then off they go, come back to me again in 6 months if they feel they need that. And then a lot of people who are going through different stresses, if they're struggling, I've got the ability to support them through those challenges to be able to help them to come out the other side.
So what's the reaction of someone who kind of comes to you super raw, super
Skeptical.
Skeptical, but also fresh. Do you know what I mean? They might not have experienced something like that before, and say you pull through their dead uncle or dead mother or dead father. What's that like for them? Obviously, from that skeptical side.
Okay, so I get a lot of skeptical people,
Yeah.
especially men, because usually a person will come and see me and then they'll put the husband in or the brother in, and they'll be like, right, you need to go and see this person, and they'll walk through to me and say, I'm really skeptical, don't believe in any of this, but my sister sent me, so don't be, I don't really know what to expect. So
it's not going to work on me.
Yeah, and they all go out crying. Trust me. So the thing is, it's undoubtable information that comes in. Like you cannot doubt, you cannot escape or get away from what is being given to you or gifted to you through me from spirit. It's a very life-changing experience for someone that's never ever had any type of experience like that before.
Yeah.
Just transformational.
Yeah, and for all you people who are going, well, she just Facebook searches them and looks at the past life. This girl's that busy. She does not. I got time to Facebook search anyone, and she couldn't give a shit about Facebook searching. She's mentally busy. You have how many readings a day?
Yeah, so I do, between 7 and 8 a day.
And you do all your own admin, all your own booking system.
Everything.
At the moment, you're gonna change that.
Need to get a booking
soon.
system. Yeah.
So so actually, let's stay with that a little bit. So they will come in skeptical, and then you'll drop something that's just like so unequivocally like confirming their not confirming their skepticism, removing their skepticism.
Yeah.
And then how's that look? Because that's a lot for someone to drop into, because it's challenged their whole belief system. So it's like you crush the belief system, and that's very hard for a lot of people to let go of. So what does that look like and feel like?
I don't feel like it is hard. I feel like it's a moment where just it's like flicking a switch. It's just a transformation. It's like unprogram and reprogram. It's just
remembering the truth. Yeah,
giving them that moment where they just have that moment where they just hold the heart space and they just totally implicitly understand that this is coming from somewhere and this means something really special. So the thing is, because I'm a channel, and the way that I channel, the way that information comes through me, it's always given in the correct manner. It's always spoken in the right way. It's always it channel. I don't engage my brain. My energy just comes through. I just open myself and I allow this energy to come through me in such a way that it's right for that person. So it's just 100% exactly what that person needs, spoken in the way that that person needs to hear it.
Okay.
So it's just, in my instance, perfect.
And most of the blokes leave in tears.
Yeah. Pretty much.
And why do you think there's that difference between women and men?
Well, to be fair, no. Most people cry. Everyone thinks they're the only person that cries.
But the men are more determined to not cry.
Yeah, they don't expect that I'm going to make them cry. So when they're like falling to bits and pieces, they're a bit like, "Oh God, I'm sorry, I'm crying." It's like, I make everyone cry. It's quite normal. This is all right. Box of tissues is just there. But yeah, I think that they don't have that anticipation that it's going to strike a chord. Yeah. That's going to bring that emotion to the surface, but it's impossible not to, because energetically I'm connecting with their emotional self, and I am drawing on all the energy that's within their auric field and within their chakras and within, all the information that comes through from spirit. It's all a combination of that. They're giving me so much just by sitting in front of me. So I'm just tuning into them, and again, game changer.
Awesome. So psychic medium, we've kind of like ticked that box. Channel, what exactly is a channel then? So I channel higher beings through my vessel. I think maybe other people have a different depiction of what channeling is. But some people, like some psychics, will do cards and that, but yours is channel.
I just channel. So I'm a visionary medium. So I have the ability to just connect. All I need is your full name and your age as soon as you sit in front of me, and then I start to just get a stream of information. And the reason that I need that is because when I first initially woke up to this, I used to get information from everywhere. Anywhere I went, it was all just coming to me, and it was so overwhelming that it just totally took over my life. And then I got to a point where I understood that I had the ability to do it my way rather than Spirit's way. So my way was, I can only connect and tune into the person if I hear their full name and age, and that's the way I then start to receive information. So then I'm not walking down an aisle in a shopping centre. I'm receiving information. So
you can switch it off and switch it on.
I can switch it on.
Because some people struggle with switching it off, don't they?
Yeah.
Because that must be like getting on for schizophrenia. If
probably like that for about 6 years before I developed the ability to manage it my way.
So channel, connecting
with the spiritual realm, but also on another dimension to what I do is I channel higher beings through my vessel. So if you can imagine, there's other beings and other dimensional planes and spaces within the quantum field. And, I say we're here, heaven is there, and then there's lots of other interdimensional realms that all overlap. I can channel higher beings in other dimensional planes. So there's a multitude of different...
So did you study that in GCSE?
No.
Did you do a GMVQ in it?
I would have got an A star star star, trust me. But no.
Well, like, how does, because you're not from because a lot of psychics are from a line of psychics, aren't they? Like the mum was a psychic, someone was a gypsy, healer, whatever it was. But yours is not, you haven't got that line of, so
No.
where's it come from?
It's come from trauma. So I went through something significant, 31st of May 2010, my whole life turned upside down. And from that point, for a 6-year period, I was in a very dark place. And during that dark place, I was also addicted to cocaine. From the 31st of May, I started to hear voices. I started to see things I couldn't explain. At the time, Mum and Dad wanted to section me because they thought I'd lost my mind.
I thought I'd
lost my mind.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, you need to go to the doctor, you need to get your eyes tested, you need to speak to a psychiatrist, you need to do this, that and the other. And I got to a point where I stopped talking about it because I realised that if I kept pushing and saying like, can you see this, can you hear this is happening to me, that's happening to me, I probably would have got sectioned. So I just had to like almost like close down and kind of go like almost like became very insular with it. And it was a very, very turbulent time. And sometimes I look back at my life there and I think to myself, did that even happen to me? Like, was that even me? And it was. It's a stage of my life. But because I'm not aligned with it anymore, it's almost like I'm viewing it, but I can't feel myself in that place. And so that's where it all started. The channeling, the voices, the visions, like the energy, everything it all started. But it started very minimally. So I couldn't really hear the voices. I couldn't really work out what I was looking at. So it was all a very slow integration. It took a long time to get to a place. And obviously November 2016 was where I totally implicitly pushed myself into this and just pushed everything else to the side. Because before that I was a dancer and a multi-skilled entertainer for 18 years. And then I knew this was what I was meant to do.
In happy hardcore clubs.
Yeah. Bouncy house, old school, jungle, drum and bass.
I like that bit. Not the happy hardcore that you used to listen to all the time. It was like, it's like
old
a
school.
headache in a can.
Oh God, I still love it now.
So what was like obviously like during that time we were both in a really dark place. We must have been like the worst company for anyone else to be around, but we kind of like vibed off each other a little bit. And we were just both exploring these things. I thought you was mental, you thought I was mental, probably.
No.
Well, depressed, I was like...
Yeah, I knew you were soulfully depressed, and I think...
Fun to be around.
That we were both in a bad place, but we were both trying to, like, keep each other afloat. So, however dark it was, I was trying to bring some light in for you, and you were trying to bring some light in for me.
And it was mad because we'd obviously both left home, and then we both came back to our family homes at around the same time to support each other and kind of go on that spiritual journey together. And obviously, when I first come back, you were like... I don't know, you weighed about 5.5 stone and you had sores all over your face, you looked fucked, and you were telling me that you were seeing things, and I was like, she's fucking lost the plot, man. And I'd just like done the 12 steps to recovery and it was talking about having a spiritual awakening. I was like, I don't want any of that shit. I'm not going to wear harem pants and fucking tie-dye. It's not going to happen to me. And then we kind of did have our you had your spiritual awakening. You was already getting these books and then I started reading them. You was doing cards for me and it was all coming through, and I still didn't quite get the angels and the demons thing, and you were still harping on about this relationship that was putting you into this trauma. So like going into that thing that triggered this magical thing, really, because that was the thing that brought you out of the other side. Like, what was the darkest point for you, and what occurred to sort of get you to that dark point?
So I was in a relationship, and my partner at the time left me for my best friend, and the end of that relationship sent me into an oblivion of emotion that I couldn't cope with how I was feeling, and I was already addicted to cocaine before that point, but I think I was just so soulfully unhappy with where I was in my life, and it just nosedived from there. It just got darker and darker, and every single time I used drugs, it was just the darkness came back in again. But it was the one thing that was stopping me from feeling pain for a period of time.
Yep.
And then as soon as I started to kind of come around again, the pain had come back in, and then I'd just go back into the hole again. And that was just what I did for 6 years. And I didn't want to be that person, but I became that person. And it was a really difficult thing to come out of. But, you know, without meeting my new partner at the time, Jake, and without my mum and dad, I wouldn't have come out. I don't think I would have come out of it. I feel like they almost kind of loved me back to life.
And was there one pivotal point where that was like, you was like, oh, I'm through the worst of it now? Or I'm kind of like
I started to go to drug counselling, so I was going 3 times a week. And I got to a point where I could not continue to do what I was doing to myself. Like I was killing myself. Like there was just an emptiness, and my whole physical self was just falling to bits and pieces. So as soon as I started to go through the drug counselling, which took 3 months, and then it probably took me 6 months to get clean, and I was still relapsing within those 6 months. But then, I managed to break the cycle.
And how long clean now?
So since 2016.
Boom.
Yeah.
Good work,
yeah,
sister.
and I could never even imagine ever using any type of drugs like that again. Like, it's just, my understanding of that is I've done it, been there, got the t-shirt, and I've just evolved from it, and it just, I just don't resonate with it.
But do you think those sort of like, when you misuse recreational drugs, they're opening you up to darker entities?
Oh yeah, it's opening. The thing is, there's lots of different interdimensional light planes, and if you take a low vibrational substance, it takes you into a low vibrational plane of existence, where because you're opening yourself, depending upon where your mind's at and like where your third eye's at, it depends whether or not you're going to get psychosis, and you're going to start seeing things and having experiences that you don't really want.
Yeah.
And you know, I believe that a lot of people that are sectioned, that are having psychosis, are seeing things that are real, but a doctor would 100 million % tell you that they're not.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm telling you now, I see them, and I still see them now, but I don't see them in a way that it's accessible to me. But if someone's got darkness, I see their darkness.
Yeah.
I see what they're experiencing, and I see like the entities and the different things that are attached to them. So yeah, these things are real, whether or not people want to admit that or not.
Well, people kind of think that what we see now, which we know as a spectrum of light, is 0.05% of what actually exists. So if we're only seeing 0.05% of what actually exists right now, even if we saw 1%, it'd be quite overwhelming, because that's double the amount that we can see right now. So there's like energy, these vibration, we're almost like in a soup of energy, light, consciousness that's all around us. There's like interweaving dimensions within us now,
all playing out simultaneously.
Like is only now. So it's like, for me to say this is it would be me being an absolute idiot. And I always, in all my everything that I teach, is like, I know nothing. But I know this little bit, and I know that I know nothing. Yeah. Which is a good example, whereas people would be like, no, there's just this. It's like, you don't know that you know nothing. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And like when I was even more skeptical than you when we went on this journey together, we were kind of going on this awakening. I was reading these books, and it was like the end of the Mayan calendar, and I was like, just woke up to this, like it's, and I was still really depressed and wanting to kill myself a lot. I remember you took us to that healing share was it in Woodley or somewhere? Yeah. And it was like a load of old women like doing healing. I was like, fucking boss, you probably. She's like, this is it. You're like, this is amazing. They're doing this, they're doing that. She's like, oh, some woman I've just spoke to, she wants us to go to a like advanced spiritual meditation. I was like, fucking advanced. I'm not even like, I don't even know what's going. I'm not even into this. Like, where am I going? And you took me to another place in Woodley. There was all these old ladies that would sit down, meditate, channel. And I'd be like, they were like, what did you get? I was like, I was thinking about what was going to offer me tea. And you were like dead excited. And this woman was like, you two are like going to do amazing things in the future. You're on this fast track to spiritual, like be spiritual teachers. And I'm like, fucking, she's a nut job. And you're like, yeah. And we really did our healing course. And you're like, you guys are going to be able to speak in light languages. You're going, yes. And I'm like, fucking hell, you're all nuts, man. And then it's evolved as it's evolved. So how come you was like so excited about that?
So I met Janet Farnell before you did. So I'd been to this place in Woodley. I'd been advised to go and see Janet. Obviously shared with her all the different things I was experiencing, all the darkness, all the visions, the demons. That, like, at one stage I felt like I'd come face to face with the devil with all this stuff I was like experiencing. And she took it all and she totally implicitly helped me. And nobody else in the world believed me. Like, everyone else was just like, you need help, you've got problems. And she was like, I totally get it.
Yeah.
So she supported me, and she started healing me and working with me. And then obviously I was like, you need to come to this place, it's fucking amazing. So we went, and we just went everywhere together. We were just doing whatever we could. We were going anywhere. And in my heart space, I totally implicitly believed that what she was saying was coming. It was happening. In my soul, I just knew it was. I just knew it. I just knew it was right.
Yeah.
So there wasn't a moment that I didn't believe that what was happening, and it was happening for me. And in 2000 and on the 18th of January 2014, after we'd been to a few different rebirthing workshops. Not thinking about what it said on the tin or what the label said, as we were like kind of going into these full day workshops, if you remember it.
Yeah.
I went through what you would call a rebirthing. So I birthed my higher self into my vessel, where I actually felt like I was physically giving birth. But I'd never had a baby, so I didn't know what birth felt like. And while this was happening, I was on the landing in my mum and dad's house. I was screaming and shouting and doing all flailing about. And my mum was like, Kathryn, what are you doing? So I said, oh, I'm in agony. I don't know. Like, I was supposed to go to the airport to pick up my friend. And I said, you're going to have to go to the airport because I can't go because I'm in absolute agony here. So I thought I needed the toilet. So mum and dad went. The pain was getting worse. In my head, I'm like, I need to ring Janet. So I don't even know what possessed me, but I just picked up the phone in a complete state and straight away started speaking in light language. My higher self had come into my vessel, and Janet was like, Kathryn, do you not understand what's happening? I was like, no, I don't understand what's happening, Janet, what's happening? And she said, you're giving birth to your higher self. I was like, okay, what does that mean? And then, the rest is history. And my higher self is called Hermione.
Yeah.
And Hermione has been with me now since that time.
Yeah.
So everything just amplified from that place, from that point. And I spoke.
Was it the 19th of January? 18th of January?
18th of January 2014.
Because I remember I was at a party or something and you rang me afterwards and I was like, fuck. He was like, I've started speaking in light language. I was like, right, weirdo. And then you was like, you need to pick me up and take me to Janet's. And then we both went to Janet's and you two were talking in light language. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on, man? Like, what the hell? And you were like communicating in this weird mental language. And then obviously like now, light language has become quite a popular thing and is quite well known, but then it was like I'd never even heard about it. Janet was the only person that I knew that spoke in light languages, and then people might be thinking, oh, she's chatting shit about the birthing and feeling pregnant. I've seen somebody do it. I saw LaDan do it on a retreat that I was on, and it was totally legit, and it was like the energy was like a birth as well. It was, do you know, like there's a certain energy when someone's dying or when someone's being born, and it was like he was in that energy, that feeling, that it's almost like an atmosphere. Do you know when people go, I don't believe in energy, don't believe you can read that, and it's like, well, you go into a pub and you go, oh, this is a bit dodgy. The atmosphere's not good in here. Do you know what I mean? You get the fuck out of there. That's energy. Do you know what I mean? It's just the same thing. So people can think what they want, but these things do actually happen. And so from obviously like Janet was like, you two are on the fast track. From basically that moment of you birthing your higher self, you kind of like totally went with it in a way, didn't you?
Yeah, I was still addicted to drugs at this point.
Yeah.
And when Hermione was born into my body, I think there was an expectation that my higher self thought I wouldn't be still addicted to drugs, but I was. Bearing in mind, before you enter into this human experience, you loosely choose your experiences on the earth. So my addiction was already pre-chosen.
Yeah.
But how long it lasted was my choice, because how long a lesson lasts is down to you, to your choices. So I think she expected that it would have been done, dusted, and she would have been high and dry, but it wasn't. So from 2014 to 2016, whenever I used any drugs, these higher beings would come in, like these like pillars of light, and they would put Hermione into like a catatonic sleep state, so she wasn't damaged by the dark entities that would come in as soon as I started to use drugs. Because initially, when I was using drugs, she was being harmed by these dark entities. So that happened for about 2 years. And then eventually we overcame it.
And then when did I'm a psychic medium come in?
So I'd been giving messages since before. I was giving messages since before 2014, where I'd be like, I'm feeling this, or I think I need to tell you this, or I've got this in my mind, I think I need to share it with you. And people would be like, how do you even know that? And I said, I don't know why I know it, but I know I need to tell you. So at no point did I think I was a medium. I just knew that I was getting information and I just needed to share it. And I think from 2010, when I first woke up, I think that was me waking up and just reading and absorbing and listening to things and just taking lots of different information in. 2 years of probably just giving messages before I realised I was actually a medium, and realised then where the information and who the information was coming from. So yeah, it just all started. Again, it was a very slow integration. So it wasn't they just went wham, here's everything all together at once. It slowly built me up to becoming who I am today.
And that's where we've kind of had similar paths, because when Janet said you two are on a fast track, you're going to do amazing things in the world, you're like, today? Are we going to be today? Like, oh, come on, I'm ready because I fucking want to kill myself. I'm depressed as fuck. Can it be today? Can we go? And it was a slow burner. It was even slower for me because you started smashing it, and you had this, you had people couldn't get a booking with you for 6 months, and I was like, been doing my yoga teacher training in India. I was like teaching a few yoga classes a week. I was still painting and decorating. I was still doing tree surgery, and you're like smashing it. I was like, oh, fucking, why is there a fast track faster than mine? Like, oh, what's going on? Why can't I have a fast track? But then, what you realise looking back is everything that I was bringing together, all these pieces of the jigsaw, and until the jigsaw was complete, I couldn't have that fast track. And that, I was coming for readings for you, and I was like, I was fucking didn't have much money, and it's like, where's the abundance? No, there's not much abundance for you, so I'll come again next year. He's like, no, there's not much. Can you see any abundance in the future? No, there's no abundance. I was like, fucking, why is there abundance? I want to be able to eat, man. I want to buy a house or something, or maybe I want to have a kid. Can't even clothe myself. Why is there no money? And you're like, no, there's no abundance. And then eventually it was like, oh, there's abundance coming. And then all these psychic people telling me there's this abundance coming, but I didn't have it. And then now it's come.
But you started to get good at manifesting. Like, you were like, I
was always good at manifesting, yeah.
And then you'd get some kind of like thing on the TV or like some kind of advert or something, and the £5 would come in. But you were always kind of like, just the money that was needed was coming in, but no more than that.
Because I didn't think further afield than that.
Yeah, but it started to come in.
Yeah. But it was just interesting that you were like, I would look at you and I was going, fucking, she's smashing it. Like, I'm just teaching yoga for 25 quid, and actually it works out about less than minimum wage, because it takes me 3 hours to teach a 1 hour class, because I've got to get there, then I've got to finish up, and then people want to chat to me. No one gives me a fucking tip, but everyone gives an Uber driver a tip that they've not even talked to and they've probably not even engaged with, and I'm giving him the keys and the secrets to universal consciousness and self-realization and enlightenment. But it'd be weird if I put a hat out and said, can I have some tips? But it would mean I might actually get paid a decent wage, you know what I mean? Because it's like, you're running around teaching yoga for 25 quid. But then, that was what made me feel like, right, what can I do to make it feel rewarding when I'm teaching a class?
Well, I started my readings at £15 initially. Yeah. And then obviously built them up, 20, 25, 30, and, up to the price that I charge now. But I feel like as time's gone on, my readings have improved. And what I always say is, when a person's sat in front of me and I'm reading them, it's like an energy exchange where I'm having a relationship with that person, and everything is a teacher, but you are also the student. So that person's teaching me and allowing me to grow, because I'm growing through their energy, and they're learning from me, and they're growing because of my energy exchange. So it's a two-way street.
Totally, yeah.
What is given, what is gifted, I'm receiving and they're receiving, and they're giving and I'm giving. It's yeah.
And that's what any teacher is like. If all them students in those classes are teaching me how to be a better teacher.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm teaching them a certain thing, and that's that kind of like, it's called the teacher-student mantra. It's a Sanskrit mantra. It's se now vanaktu se now bunaktu se virium karavavahe tejasvina madita mastuma vidvisvavahe. And it is like, may we love, respect each other, may we honour and love each other, may our knowledge and wealth increase, may we not resent each other. So that's basically it, and it's like this kind of like symbiotic relationship between the teacher and the student, and there's not really a difference. It's just like this really beautiful kind of dance with one another, and this alchemy.
It's a blessing to sit and do what I do every day. and it doesn't feel like a job in the sense of it brings me great joy, and I know that there's reciprocal, it brings that person great joy. So there's, you know, I always say if somebody offered me £1 billion to take my gift away, I'd say not a chance. Like nothing compares to what I am able to give to a person on a daily basis. Yeah.
And what positive changes have you, like, because obviously sometimes you don't see the effect you've had, like sometimes with the cacao ceremonies we don't get to see, but then when someone comes back and then they grab you and they go, oh, I've done this since your last one. So with the readings, what's like some things that like pop out in your head where it's like they directly see that positive change connected to that piece, that message that they gave you?
A lot of people come back to me to say that, you know, thank you very much, you've helped me in this way, or you've changed my mindset in this way, or you've totally changed my life in this way. So I do tend to get a lot of feedback from people. And in another instance, I'll send them a lot of stuff to do, whether it's affirmations, like gratitude, meditations, breath work, podcasts to listen to, like whether it's like to come to a cacao ceremony or come to a gateway to the higher self. I send them an entourage of information that they can go away and use if they feel called to use it. And sometimes a person may come back and go, oh, I've not looked at any of that stuff you sent me. I'm like, great. And then other times people are like, I've done all of it. What else can you send me? So it really depends upon where they're at and whether or not they're open to actually kind of going away from me and actually taking the steps that they need to take to start to empower and better their lives. But I would say the majority of the people that do come do. Because they're coming for a specific reason and they want help or they want guidance or they want intervention. Like, so that's what I'm here to do.
Yeah. And we're very grateful at Full Power Cacao that you always go, I'm getting a message, you must go buy cacao, you must go to a Full Power Cacao ceremony. It's coming through strong. It's from your mum.
Yeah, everyone gets the Full Power Cacao information.
We don't really do that.
No, but the thing is, your ceremonies are an absolute game changer in the sense of like, if you want to rewire your mind, if you want an absolute kick up the backside, if you want a total kind of like push into something that you didn't even know existed, like these ceremonies are what that's for. And I think my gateway to the higher self is more soft and gentle, whereas your Full Power Cacao is more like hitting hard and kind of brings them right to where they need to be.
It's like a little,
bit of a shock to the system.
A little slap in the face,
Mine's a
but
bit more
a good
softly,
slap in
softly.
a good slap in the. We all need a slap
Yeah.
in the face now and again.
So
because,
both ceremonies needed.
So talk to us. Let's go into the gateway to the higher self. So we talked a little bit about the light language. So the gateway to the higher self is a workshop or an event.
It's an event, 5-hour event.
It's a 5-hour event, so it's the same length as a cacao ceremony.
Yeah.
How was that? Where did that birth from?
So initially, me and Amy Goodwin sat down. Again, me and Amy Goodwin used to dance together for 18 years on the club scene.
Yeah.
So we had a very, very strong connection. She'd gone into her light languages and spiritual awakening and quantum healing regression and all the life coaching and the different things that she does. And we just started to kind of come together and started to kind of discuss the fact that we wanted to hold space and we wanted to kind of bring people together in one place. And we didn't really know what that one was going to consist of. So we decided to sit and birth something together. So we did the first 6 ceremonies together, or maybe the first 5 ceremonies together. And then Amy decided that she wanted to go in a different direction, didn't want to hold space anymore. And then now, the last ceremony, the one upcoming in the future, now consists of me and my best friend, Jenny Priestner, Align Your Authentic Self, Mindset Manifestation Mentor. And we are Siamestic twins, which is, again, another story. But yeah, we do the Gateway to the Higher Self. And included in that is a mini Liam Browne Full Power Cacao, tiny little ceremony. Without Liam Browne, but with Faith Daniels, who's amazing. Faith in the Universe has done your training.
Funniest person in the world.
Yeah, amazing.
Fucking hilarious.
She does amazing drumming and singing in our event as well.
Voice, yeah.
We do a sound bath, we do meditations, we do an hour of mindset manifestation, mentoring from Jenny. I do channelings where I channel high beings from a vessel. We do invocations. We give usually 3 gifts within the ceremony, and then we do invocations connected to the gifts.
Yeah.
There's an element of dance, which sometimes it's every single ceremony we do is different. And then we also do mantras, and we call in different kind of guides, archangels, deities, whatever we want to incorporate basically. But every single ceremony is different. So every single time we do it, we birth another ceremony. So if a person was to come to one, if they come again, they're not just coming to the same thing.
Yeah. And how often are they?
So potentially 3 a year, maybe 4 a year.
Yeah.
3 a year at the minute. And then I also do a cacao ceremony with Faith.
Yeah.
So we do a 3-hour ceremony, a bit shorter than yours. And again, probably 3 a year.
And you always support us in the Manchester cacao ceremonies as well.
Always.
And the Gateways at a Higher Self always sells out, doesn't it?
Always.
Always sells out.
Yeah, never had a not sold out event.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
That's what I mean when you started events and you was like, I want to do this at this place and it's 50 people. I'm like, oh fuck, that took me like 6 years to get. No, it took me like 8 years to get to 50 people. I think I was just paving the way for lots of people to do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you did an event at the beautiful space, St Clement's Church in Cholton, and then as soon as we'd used that venue, I was like, oh my God, this venue is like next level. And when the light comes through that stained glass window, I was like, I need to get this. I need to get this venue. But yeah, blessed. But again, Amy had her followers, I had my followers, so it was very equal in, you know, her bringing hers and me bringing mine. But yeah, I just, you know, whoever we connect with, wherever we are, the right people come. The right people experience what they're meant to experience. We're blessed. Yeah, to do what we do.
And what about the journey of full power cacao that you've observed? Like, well, actually, let's start with what's cacao to you? What does cacao mean to you, and what does full power cacao mean to you? Because I know it has got a big part of your life. I'm not just asking every participant who comes on the podcast that, but
so full power cacao for me is something that your vibration is connected to this medicine. So it's not it's more than just the cacao, where it comes from. It's energetically connected to you. So what you have the capacity to do is bring a different energy to it that another Joe Bloggs wouldn't necessarily be able to bring. But cacao is a heart-expanding medicine. This is such a beautiful thing to do every day, to be able to take this and to be able to use it in such a way that it's, for me, it expands your consciousness. It connects you to the highest version of yourself. It helps you to clarify, get clarity in your mind. It helps you to focus. It helps you to get a natural high vibration where you just totally... Like if you're struggling with fatigue or you're struggling with depression or anything like this, it just helps to like almost kind of manage it all and helps you to bring you into an alignment with yourself. And my friend Jenny, Align Your Authentic Self, she was on antidepressants and you know, she's done a video for you, which I think is shared on your socials. She was on antidepressants and I kept saying, Jenny, like you need to come to a ceremony, like you need to get off these antidepressants, you need to stop taking them, please come with me. I asked her and asked her and asked her and asked her and asked her, and she eventually decided she was going to come. And when she came, game changer.
She cried for 5 hours,
yeah,
didn't she?
5 hours of total
She
breaking.
used all my fucking... Jenny, you owe me the box of tissues.
Yeah. So it was a total game changer. From that point, she weaned herself off her antidepressants, and that became the antidepressant.
Well, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a natural antidepressant.
That became, and she still sits on the grass every day now and cries because it opens her heart space that much that she releases so much by drinking it. Yeah, it's just amazing.
And every time I see her, she's like just got this immense gratitude for the ceremonies and for the cacao. So it's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Full power. And what about the obviously you've been part of everything since I went to Guatemala with the cacao, and what about being a part of the full power cacao journey? How's that been?
I just feel blessed to be part of this movement in effect, because I feel like it's massively inspirational to anybody that comes to experience it. I feel like as a team, in the sense of like Paulina, yourself, Joanna, me, and all the other kind of like, you know, people that you bring in to support, I feel like the energy that we bring it just connects, and and it has the capacity to help anybody that wants to come and experience it. So yeah, I'm just blessed that I'm part of this movement.
And like, obviously we're in Di's house, and the ceremonies that I started after they were in my tent, were in Di's thing, and now we're in this massive venue that we keep selling out, and we need a bigger venue probably. That's 150. It's like people want it, and like, you know, I think we're going to end up like a West End production. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll come out in front of the curtains open,
big arena,
just like have it.
Yeah, it's growing. It's growing. It's expanding.
Yeah,
it's good.
And what have you got planned for the future? What's the dreams or?
So I'm moving into a new phase, in the sense of like what my offerings are. So I currently have started to offer a £222 package, which basically is like a 2-hour session where I allow higher beings to drop into my vessel, and I retrieve missing counterparts of your highest self within the quantum field. So it's kind of like quantum hypnosis, but you're not hypnotized. So we kind of do it under a visualization kind of meditative state. And we do it in sections where we kind of go in, retrieve a counterpart, come back out, go in, receive another missing counterpart, come. And before I start, I have got no clue as to what is going to come through or what's going to happen. But I implicitly just open myself as a channel and implicitly trust that what's going to come through for that person is a very important part of them moving from the 3D to the 5D consciousness. So we are on an ascension journey. We are evolving into higher consciousness and higher frequencies. And all of this work that we're doing, whether it's with CACAO or whether it's within the quantum field, whether it's through our higher self, whatever it is, it's all part and parcel of where we're going and where we're headed and what's ahead in the future.
Awesome. And what would you say to somebody who's maybe like going through the darkness that we were going through, and is like, oh, what would your kind of
so my
advice
perception now
to them
on everything that's ever happened? Things don't happen to you; they happen for you, and things happen for you so you can grow into the highest version of yourself in this reality. Nothing's ever negative or positive. It's just an experience. And it's as negative as you think it is, and it's as positive as you want it to be. But it's all about your perception. Everything that happens for you to evolve and grow. However traumatic it is, however dark it is, however turbulent it is, it's meant to be happening. And whatever is happening, you have to learn to make peace with it. You have to learn to forgive people along your journey, because if you hold on to negativity or hatred, you just keep yourself locked into a low vibrational frequency where you can't evolve and grow. And some people, when I say about the forgiveness thing, they're like, I am never in my life going to forgive this person ever.
It's like all the best then. You're going to have a shit life.
Okay. And I try to explain.
It's only causing you pain, not that person. Well, it actually is causing them a little bit of pain, but it's mainly your pain because you're feeling it every day.
You're poisoning your energy.
Yeah.
You may as well just be dripping poison into your energy.
Like, and if they could see beyond the 0.05%, they'd be like, fucking hell, I'm going to forgive them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I feel like, you know, to be able to explain something to someone gives them the ability to go away and digest it, and to then kind of figure out what they need to do with that information that I've given. But yeah, this is the journey that we're on. And again, it's unprogramming, reprogramming, and it's unlearning and relearning and getting ourselves to a point and a place where whatever experience presents itself, just go and do it. I always say that if something comes up and it's like, oh, breath work, oh, cold water therapy, oh, cacao ceremony, just go and do it.
Just go and try it,
Yeah, don't be like, oh, well, who shall I go with? I don't think I'm going to know anyone if I'm going to be sat on a mat. Just go and have the experience. Exactly, like if your soul is calling you, just go and do it.
Travelling as well, if you've got to go travelling, it's like, oh, I've got to go with someone. It's like, no, just go, because if it's calling you,
Off you pop.
And that's what I say to people, because people used to, can I come to yoga with you? I was like, no. Like, well, why? We're not going to be doing anything together. You've got to go on your own. Do it yourself. You could come, but I don't want you to come with me. So I'm, you know, that you wouldn't go without me. You've got to go. It's your own thing. When you're on your yoga mat, you're on your yoga mat. You're on your own. That's your fucking flying carpet to
Yeah.
expand your consciousness. It's like keep turning up, keep turning up. But with the amount of stuff, with breath work, with cold water therapy, with the all the different activations that are going on, all light language courses, everything that's happening right now, it's like just go and try all of them, and something will fall in for you that that works. Like the breath work might work for you, the yoga might work for you, a different type, yin yoga, kundalini yoga, whatever it may be. It's like go and try these things. Buddhist meditation, transcendental meditation. Like there's so much, and these are all medicines. So before you're jumping on fucking antidepressants, go and try everything.
Yeah.
Go and try drinking cacao. Do you know what I mean? Like for me, like depression is a guide, and depression is a blessing. Because if your life's out of alignment, without depression, how do you know it's out of alignment? So depression's making you take different choices, and it's going try that, because that's what's happening now's not for you. So it's like, you was going through the whole kind of trauma, like invasion of energy and being a drug addict, and I was going through like deep depression where I wanted to kill myself every day. So it's like, but we kept going, we kept turning up at things, and it's like keep turning up, and eventually you'll kind of like grow beyond that. And when you're in it, it's fucking horrible. But it's like now I know when it comes in, I'm going, oh, what do I need to change? Like instantly I go, I'm feeling a bit, I'm like, what the fuck's out of, oh, I need to sort that out, or I need to get up at 4 a.m. today and just fire through a load of admin shit because it's on top of me. Do you know what I mean? It's like get it cleared, and then it's like, yeah, I'm good.
Without going into the dark, you cannot value and appreciate the light. And all the dark times give you so much appreciation for the smallest of things that you wouldn't have had any appreciation for if you'd not gone into that dark place. It's the dark is helping you to grow.
Totally.
Part of the process.
And the good stuff, like what's going on for us both now, like makes me know that the dark is light, actually. Because the dark was what propelled me towards that lightness. So it was everything's beautiful. It's like all is blessed, all is magical, all is divine, and people want to get stuck into this is going on, this is wrong, blah, blah, blah. It's like, if you step back from that, is everything okay? Yeah.
I think when people talk about the dark, I think they talk about it negatively, whereas now my perception of the dark is it's making the light conscious. Like it's an important part of our existence on this earth plane, and it's what we incarnated to do. We incarnated to go through these processes to totally implicitly get the dark and to get the light and to understand what the yin yang is and to find the balance in the center of that.
And what do you feel then, like, because obviously us as teachers and what we do, I feel that the darkness gives us a tapestry that allows more people to connect with us. How do you feel about that in terms of, like, I feel that
the dark brings people to me.
Yeah, but the people who are going through that dark thing, because you've been through it, it's easy. Do you find it easier to connect?
Totally.
Yeah.
I always say, like, unless you've been through something yourself, you can't totally resonate with, and I help a lot of people that have got addictions, and I've been an addict. So I totally complicitly and can connect with that person on that level. Whereas if someone's got something else, like say some kind of illness problem, I can sympathise with that, but I can't have the same level of empathy and compassion that I have with addiction. Whereas with Jenny, mindset manifestation mentor, she's been through all the medical side of things, and so she can implicitly tune into, like, if people have got those types of problems. So I feel like we complement each other really well, because we've both got that kind of those different experiences of life. But yeah, I feel totally blessed to have gone through what I went through. Like, every single part of it was meant to happen, and I don't regret any of it. And I always say to people, don't ever regret anything you've ever done in your life.
No.
It's all meant to have happened exactly that way. Like, no
It's
mistakes.
like when I was a dickhead there, at least now I can look at it and go, I was a dickhead there, so I'm not going to be a dickhead again. Or I made that mistake, I'm not going to make that mistake again. Or them people that was around were making me feel like that, so I'm not going to let people with that energy close to me anymore. So they're all, everything's a learning, everything's a lesson. So your mum and dad, like, what the fuck do they think about it?
So at
when
first,
it first happened,
oh God, right? At first, they like literally thought I was losing my mind, and I think my mum was on the borderline of wanting to get me sectioned, and I think my dad was more kind of on the fence, trying to like work it out, trying to like understand, trying to like almost just kind of trying to help me in whatever way he could. But my dad believes in God, and my dad believes in Jesus Christ, and my dad believes in certain things that maybe my mum doesn't really have the same kind of energy for. So when I was talking about stuff, like, I had a light fitting in my bedroom, and I used to say it was like a mirrored light fitting, and I used to say they used to come in and out of the mirrored light fitting. So my dad changed it for me. So I was like, right, what light fitting do we need? Let's just go pick a new one. So he changed it. And there was an element of like, at one point I was covering up all the mirrors.
And did it change it?
Yeah, they stopped coming in.
Well done, Ricky.
He sorted it right out. So, and then I covered all the mirrors up in my bedroom because there was another stage where I could see entities in the reflection of a mirror.
Was he wearing a Ghostbusters outfit when he removed that mirror?
Well, he was wearing some kind of an outfit, yeah. It's a long white thing with a headdress on. But yeah, no, he sorted it out.
Sweet.
But my dad was trying to help me. And what I realise now is I was going through an immense amount of trauma. And at the time, I couldn't see that my mum and dad were going through that trauma as well. And now I realise that it wasn't only me that was suffering. We were all suffering. We were all going through it collectively.
Do you feel that more now because you've had a kid?
No. I understood it before Aria.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So I totally started to understand their pain and suffering and everything. I just started to understand life from a different place.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I've had my little girl. She's 3.5. Again, when Aria was born into my body, just massively amplified my gifts because she's more gifted than me. And, you know, before she came into my vessel, I had a hiatus hernia. I had a really bad problem with my back. I had a problem with my bladder. And when she's come out, she's healed it all. So, and she's amplified my gifts. Yeah. So since she's come in February, 18th February 2021, my energy and abilities have gone to there. So yeah, she's upgraded me. Yeah.
And with your mum and dad as well, now you obviously like do all your readings in their front room.
House, yeah. So I've totally commandeered their dining room, and it's like Aladdin's cave. It's like a shop in there, and I'm lucky again that they let all these people traipse in and out the front door, and I make a right lot of racket in the front room, especially when I'm doing my channelings and I'm like playing my drum and things like that. But yeah, they're used to it now. Yeah.
And doing it. How many years have you been doing it in there
since
for?
Since 2016.
Right, Jesus.
And now they just totally get it, and again, it's probably don't get all of it in the sense of like some of it's still a bit like maybe I don't know if they have a total understanding or perception of it as it is, but they support me. And without them, I don't know where I'd be.
Yeah,
so I feel lucky to have mum and dad.
Go on. So Hermione, your higher self.
Yeah.
What's she all about?
So she channels through me. So I'm gonna just let her talk through me just for a minute, if that's all right. It's the mini Hermione. Hello, my name is Hermione, and I am Katherine's higher self. For the purpose of this, I am speaking in English, but my light language for demonstration. Hasamai asamu uanya. Si na mahusama uayanaya, si ina mahusamu huayanaya. Tus mahaya na mawasni ana mawasama na. Tus umaliam. Tu mahaya na mayasama hua CACAO. Blessings. So I just wanted to demonstrate her channeling through me. When she was first born into my body, she didn't speak English for 2 weeks. And then within 2 weeks, she'd learned the English language and then started to communicate with me. But for 2 weeks, I was just speaking to Janet in light language and I was literally ringing her every day to get downloads. And when she was talking to Hermione through me, I could feel Hermione's energy changing as she was like kind of listening and understanding and accepting all the things that Janet was saying. So, but I also channel a lot of other high beings. I speak in a multitude of different light languages. I use a lot of tones, sounds and vibrations with my throat, which I use for healing. And I do make some noises that you wouldn't even expect to be able to come out of my throat, but it's possible. And everything's vibrations. Everything has a frequency. And I have the ability to tap in and to tune into these higher dimensional beings and to use their languages and their frequencies for healing and for the super advancement of our consciousness in this reality.
And if somebody asked you, well, where are they?
they're just within the interdimensional, I'm going to call it within the ether, you know, they're kind of here, they're surrounding us.
Yeah.
All overlapping interdimensional planes.
Yeah.
And I have the ability to
And if you
tap
could see them all, you would probably vomit and decombust.
Well, a lot of them don't have vessels, they're just energetic.
Yeah.
Some of them look like aliens. Some of them look like beings that you wouldn't even be able to kind of comprehend with your mind.
Yeah.
But some of them are just light and energy. So, yeah.
Because when I take plant medicine, I get like almost like avatars. And this was before Avatar, it was like these kind of headdresses.
Yeah.
And sort of, I don't know what it is, man. Like, whenever I take plant medicine, there's like 3 ladies waiting for me, and they're like, "Yo, he's here." It's like, "How long have you been waiting?" He was like, "Oh, I've been waiting a few years." Like, I was like, "Just waiting." They're like, "Yeah." It's like, "Let's go, boom."
So I think because I'm so open, I can see energy, and I've been able to see energy since my cocaine addiction. And I think with any type of plant medicine, even cacao, like anything that raises your vibration, my ability to see, I think people see within their third eye, within their mind space, within their pineal gland, whereas mine's visible in front of me.
Yeah.
So I can visibly see the hologram. So everything just looks like holographic.
Yeah.
But everyone's experience obviously different.
And Hermione, where's Hermione from? And is Hermione your higher self? So when you're not in a physical body, are you Hermione? Or,
Yes. Hermione is me.
Hermione
is me within the quantum field.
Yeah.
So if you can imagine, I always say that when you turn a light on, the light has billions of particles.
Yeah.
But you can't see the billions of particles that the light is kind of like emulating.
You just see light.
Your higher self is made of billions and trillions of particles of light. So your higher self is having multidimensional overlapping experiences
At the same time.
So people talk about past lives and future lives. It's all happening in the now. Everything's playing out simultaneously in the now.
Yeah.
And when a soul passes out of a vessel, goes into heaven, but again, it's just one particle.
Yeah.
And that soul in heaven then takes care of all the people that it loves on the earth plane. But there's millions of souls, millions of billions of conscious kind of energetic experiences that you've had.
Yeah.
Everything exists within the quantum field. And
I think most humans get to that bit and go, "Oh, that's too much, fuck that. Just stay here, watch a telly." What's Vera up to on Cora? Fucking, I don't want to go there.
So Hermione, before you come onto this earth, I always say you get a shopping basket and you put your experiences in. Oh, I want to do this, I want to experience that. Oh, I want to go through that. Oh, that looks exciting. Yeah. And then when you incarnate, you have the ability to tap into all those choices that your higher self made. But your higher self doesn't have the ability to interfere with any of those choices. So you, as a human, we have the ability to make our own choices. And then we have an ego, this little monkey on our shoulder, who causes problems. So the ego is here, and the ego is the little devil, if you want to call it that. And then the higher self is here, which is the light-bodied being, which is your higher self, your energy, your soul energy. And it's constantly a battle of ego, higher self, ego, higher self, ego, higher self. And it's recognizing when your ego thoughts come in, and it's recognizing when your higher self thoughts come in, and taking control of it in the sense of kind of, you are the beholder of your own destiny. Like, you're the person that gets to decide.
The creator.
Your thoughts do not control you. You control your thoughts.
Yeah.
But people are like, "Oh, I can't control my thoughts, and my thoughts were just telling me to do this, and my thoughts were running wild." That's because you're letting them.
Yeah.
So as soon as you become conscious of that, I always say you have to interrupt the narrative. You have to go, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm not listening. I'm not going there. We've said that a million times. I'm not repeating it. It's done, dusted, finished, and over. And I always say it's when you interrupt the narrative with your ego, it shuts up.
Yeah.
But if you don't, it takes control.
But all these practices, breath work, cacao ceremonies, going and seeing psychics, meditation especially, that's all interrupting the narrative, because it's the human being taking back control of the mind. You are not the mind, you are the controller of the mind. The mind is just a bicep. So you can either work it out and make it bigger, or you can let it shrivel. And people are getting overtaken by the bicep, the mind. And actually, you want to go into the heart. The heart is who you are. The mind is an amazing computer for you to do next level shit with, because it's really powerful. A lot of people are like, forget the mind, go into the heart. It's like, no, use the mind.
Yeah.
You are the controller of the mind. The mind's, but we've got probably 95% of the world's population that are being controlled by the mind and don't identify that they are the controller of the mind, which is the Ajna chakra, you know, the command center, which is like we're trying to, all these practices and everything we're doing, it's basically giving people back the freedom and the sovereignty. It's like, you're the controller.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You are controlling your own destiny.
But people watch the telly, they read, you know, news articles and they read newspapers. I don't watch the telly, I don't read any news and articles. All my social media
It's the second person on the show that doesn't watch the telly.
Yeah, don't watch any of it. Well,
It's the way
apart
to full
from
power.
kids programs, Ari just like watches kids programs back to back. But apart from that, no TV in our house.
Yeah.
And I just doesn't resonate with me. I can't watch it. I can't tune into it. I can't take it on board. It's just totally like mind numbing. And it's manipulation of the mind. So anything that you watch is a narrative that isn't real, that you're then buying into. And then your whole life is based around that false narrative.
Yeah.
So yeah, turn the telly off. As you said, chuck it out the window.
That's why we're like, family members try and talk to me about subjects, and I'm like, where have you got your subject? You only watch TV, so you've only got your opinion from the TV. You don't go out there, you don't talk to people, you don't travel, you don't like try anything else. So you've only got that from that box, which is actually trying to program you in a certain way and give you a certain narrative and make you hate certain people and like certain people and actually get you volatile and against things. So it's like, I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to talk to you about things because it's a waste of time.
Yeah. Better to connect.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, you know, I feel like I always say as well, like, we're on this earth plane to learn until we leave. So some people will say to me, oh, I'm too old to do this and too old to do that. You learn until the day you leave this earth plane. It doesn't matter how old you are.
Yeah.
And again, like when people retire and then they don't have anything to do with their lives.
And they die.
Yeah. Like if you love what you do, like you would work until the very end of your time. And with what we do, there's no retirement. There's no end. There's no cut off. There's no switch off. Yeah. This is it. This is what we incarnated to do. This is what we're here to share, and we'll share it until we're not physically capable of doing so.
Exactly, but that's probably not until we die.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought so.
Yeah, 97.
You're going to go 97?
Well, all my grandparents have lived to, well, my grandma's 93, 97.
Right.
So it's very likely.
So you might make 100 because you probably looked after yourself better.
That I'm going to be.
Didn't for the period of time.
Yeah.
But now you are.
Yeah. But my grandma's looked after themselves. But both grandmas, longevity.
Why not?
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot of good work.
So I've got to be up there.
A lot of people that you can support and empower.
Yeah.
Good. We've had 30 years together so far. It's been mental.
Yeah.
The next 30 years is going to be even more mental, and I'm excited by it all. So thank you for being the second guest on the Full Power podcast. And I think everything that you've shared with us is going to propel each individual that listens to it towards their version of full power. Remember, kids, try everything.
Thank you for having me.
Unless it's illegal.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Blessings.
Love you.
I love you. Okay.
Aho.